sound like Gollum or Schmeagol from something from Lord of the Rings. Gives it a thumbs up. Welcome, Star Wars fans, to my Star Wars small screen update for June 5th, 2018. I'm Samuel the Hutt. Thanks for watching. Star Wars Resistance has had some breaking news recently. Also, EA is releasing a brand new mobile game and a new roadmap to the future of Star Wars Battlefront 2 has been announced on Twitter, and I'm going to talk about my favorite arc from the Clone Wars. Let's get right into it. First off, there's been some breaking news for Star Wars Resistance. At a French Disney convention, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what it's called because it's in French, they released the date for when Star Wars Resistance is going to be released and some character designs, artwork for it. Basically, they said that it's going to release in October of this year, and they showed us a picture of both some of the First Order and the Resistance, including a picture of the main character. So now we know what he looks like. We also know that it's a he now. It looks very interesting. They said it's anime inspired. I don't really see the resemblance, but hey, it still looks cool. I'm not complaining. We now know a little bit more than we did before. I'm really curious to see where they go with it. They showed the new main character, Kazuda Kiyono, I think is how it's pronounced. I don't know. Poe Dameron, BB-8, a few of the other characters whose names escape me right now. Also, for the First Order, they showed Phasma, some of the First Order troops. I believe they showed a Praetorian Guard. I don't distinctly... You couldn't really tell. The picture was kind of grainy, and it was like someone took it off their iPhone while they were trying to not make it obvious or whatever. It looked like a Praetorian Guard, but it was some sort of red trooper. But now we know that it's going to come out in August, and a little bit more about it. I'm really excited. Stay tuned for more information on Star Wars Resistance. First off, another new Star Wars game is in the works. This one is called Star Wars Rise to Power and is actually being released by EA, the same company that made Battlefront, Battlefront 2, things of that sort. And this is only in its pre-alpha stage, which means it is really early on in development. I'm trying to get into the pre-alpha, but it looks like it's closed right now, so I'm going to wait for more spots to open up. But basically, this game is a very strategic game. Your goal is to rise to power, rise to the top, and you can do this. Well, first off, you build a fleet of starfighters. You make a base, you build a fleet, and then you join like alliances and things. You choose if you're going to be Republic or the Separatists, or I think it's either Rebels or Empire, and then you band with other players and you try to rise to power. And you can rise to power through either, I think they said, diplomacy or deception and things like that. So it's a very player interaction based game, which reminds me a lot of an old game my dad used to play called Star Wars Combine. It was a very player connected game. You would make your character, and then you would go into chat rooms. It was a chat room based game. This was years ago, and you would connect with other players, and you could trade stuff and join alliances, and and you could barter deals between things. My dad was he was a diplomat, and he would often barter trades or be the middleman for two parties. And he sometimes double cross other people or whatever, and he loved it. It was an amazing game, and I'm hoping that there's that feel to this new game. If so, I'll probably download it anyway, but I will be really excited if it's a Star Wars Combine feel with actually some combat and things of that sort. So I'm really looking forward to this. Stay tuned for more news on this game. I'll be sure to get it out to you guys whenever I hear anything. And second, DICE's community manager, Ben Walk, shared a glimpse into the future updates and releases for Battlefront 2. And I'm just going to go into those real quick. First off, in July this month, they're going to be releasing a brand new Starfighter game mode called Hero Fighters, or Hero Starfighters. And basically what you do is you play as a hero starfighter on your respective sides. So, you know, if you're Rebels, you know, you can play as Luke's X-Wing, or I should say light side or dark side. You can play as Luke's X-Wing, Poe Dameron's X-Wing, the Millennium Falcon, things of that sort. And on the dark side, you know, you can be Darth Vader's Advanced TIE Fighter, Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer, things of that sort. And what you do is you go head-to-head against other players, and when you die as a hero starfighter, you respawn as just a regular starfighter, and the winners, the first team, the team that wins is the first team who eliminates all the other hero starfighters or villain starfighters. It seems very interesting. It's coming out sometime this month. Not entirely sure when, but soon. And then in August, there's really not a whole lot of news. There's a few things releasing, like new customizations and costumes and appearances for clone troopers, and just some game improvements and things of that sort. So nothing super notable coming up in August, but in sometime this fall, General Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi are being added to the game. Now, I'm sure everyone's excited about this. I know I am. You know, Obi-Wan and General Grievous is a huge clash. I'm hoping. You know, I'm excited for Obi-Wan just so I can see an Obi-Wan Maul fight. You know, because it did the whole Clone Wars arc with, you know, Obi-Wan, Rebels too, Obi-Wan and Maul fighting. So that'd be a kind of a cool thing to see. But also, I'm just excited to play as General Grievous, see what he is like. Also, they're going to be adding. They didn't give us a whole lot of details about this, but they're adding a new large-scale mode. They said that they're building a map, and it's the largest map they've ever developed for a Battlefront game. It's going to be huge, and it's not going to be a linear style game like most of the ones that you're used to, where, you know, the walker moves around for walker assault. You know, walker moves, and you literally walk with it and try to follow that linear path. The new large-scale mode is going to be like a control capture the point thing. So, you know, you try to capture the points, and the team with the most points at the end wins, sort of thing. I mean, at least that's what I'm getting from it. They said it's non-linear, and it's gonna be huge scale. That I'm excited for. That's what I really wanted from Battlefront 2 in the first place, is these huge, massive scale battles between two sides. Very Battlefield style, you know, like the Battlefield games. I'm hoping it's got that sort of feel to it. That would be so much fun to play. And then they're gonna add some more clone appearance stuff and little things coming in the fall. And then in the winter, they're gonna be adding Anakin Skywalker and Count Dooku. I'm curious to see where they go with Count Dooku. I mean, Anakin's gonna be cool. I feel like, I don't know what they're gonna do with that though, because I feel like the way that Anakin and Obi-Wan would play would be very similar. But Count Dooku, I'm just curious to see, because you don't really think of him as a character you put into a video game like this. So I'm curious to see where they go with that. And then they're going to be adding a new location in the winter. They're going to be adding Geonosis. This is, I'm not really sure like what the big deal about this is. I think some people are going to be pretty excited for it. I'm not too worked up about it. I mean, it'll be cool to go there and see. I was more excited for Crate releasing and things like that. But, I mean, I guess it's cool if you're a Clone Wars fan, and, you know, there was a lot of stuff that happened on Geonosis and things like that. So, it's cool, and I'm sort of curious to see where they go with it. I'm hoping maybe there's a new game mode that releases with it or something that they're not announcing. But then they're going to add more Clone Trooper appearances and things like that in the winter. So, that's basically the general overview for what's going to be coming for Battlefront 2 between now and the winter. There might be some more stuff that they haven't released yet, or things of that manner, but they just gave us a nice little glimpse into the future. I'm really excited to see this new large-scale game mode that's going to be coming out this fall. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'll get more news for you when I hear about it. And I think that's about all for this topic. Star Wars TV. I'm going to talk about my favorite arc from the Clone Wars series. Now, I'm sure everyone who's seen the Clone Wars has a favorite story arc or things like that, character arc. And mine was the Yoda arc at the end of Season 6. I think it was episodes 11, 12, and 13. So it was like the very final episodes of the Clone Wars series. And it's the names of the episodes are Voices, Destiny, and I think it was Sacrifice. And basically, if you don't know this arc, spoilers, I guess, if you this is a bit of a spoiler alert if you are planning to watch this series or these arcs or whatever and you don't want to know the story, so there's probably going to be some spoilers in the next few minutes. But basically, Yoda, I think he feels this call or something to this certain planet. I don't remember exactly where it happened. I just remember certain parts of it that I really liked. And basically, he goes with R2 and into this Force planet. It was like a planet that was like made by the Force, or it was like super strong with the Force. Really kind of weird. It had a very Mortis arc sort of feel to it. But he goes in there and he finds these Force priestesses. Really weird characters if you've seen it, but not in a bad way. They were cool. It's just they were very mysterious. I still have no idea what was going on with them. But basically he undergoes these trials, and basically what happens is he's trying to find the way to immortality. You know, how you see Yoda as a Force Ghost later, and Obi-Wan in the same way. That's what Yoda is trying to do right now. He's coming to this planet and he's trying to learn about how to become, you know, the Force Ghosts or whatever. So he undergoes these trials, and he faces this like dark side Yoda thing. It was pretty weird, but it was like really intense if you've seen it. He then, I think he goes to the Sith homeworld, and he finds the ghost of Darth Bane. That, I believe, is Darth Bane. Don't quote me there, but that was cool because they took a character from the EU. A Sith Lord from the EU, I think it was the Old Republic games, and made him canon. I'm sure that made a lot of EU fans very happy. I thought he was a cool character. I didn't really know anything about him from the Legends or whatever, but I just thought the character was cool and the way he looked in the series. Then he has this vision of Anakin dying. I mean, it was a really intense arc, a lot to do with the Force. I think that's why I liked it. Same thing with the Mortis. Mortis is pretty high up there for me because it had a lot to do with the Force, and you know, they both shaped the way we saw the Force in a different way. You know, so I think that's why I liked those arcs the most, especially the Yoda arc, because it was just really intense, and it was cool to see Yoda go on this journey of growth. You know, you don't really think of Yoda as needing to grow anymore because he's Yoda. So it was cool to see that even a Jedi Master like Yoda still had room to grow and learn. And I think that's why I liked it so much. So yeah, I think that's my favorite arc so far. Now join us on Saturday for the next episode of Tatooine Sons, a Star Wars podcast, where I will discuss Star Wars Rise to Power with my brother BB Nate and my dad, the Bow Tie Jedi Guy. Now if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe so you get all of our videos, including my brother's weekly Star Wars comics update, where he talks about the latest Star Wars comic releases and gives a review for one comic each week. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Oh, wow. I gotta start over. I have to start over because I burped. Power. And this one's made by EA, Electronic Arts. Why did I say that? I don't even know if it is Electronic Arts. I think it is. And first off, Star Wars is releasing, what? At least I didn't burp this time. And second, the what? Now, if you like this video, gives it a thumbs up. I always do that.